Well, the future is optimistic in the sense that we are looking at a situation where information flow is getting even more open, and it follows that even African farmers will very soon be catching up in terms of ideas and agricultural productivity strategies. And there's also a discussion to the effect that African farmers should go back and invest in what we call indigenous crops in Africa. So there's a lot of optimism. If we do things right, I think we are going to increase the yields for our farmers.
And in that strive to increase the yields, what is the role for technologies like pesticides, GMO? How do you see that?
Well, I would maybe start with pesticides. The point is, one of the biggest discouraging factor for a farmer is to have high yields and then be unable to store them. And then the other thing is to have a good farm input where you have the crops coming out of the soil and then they are destroyed by pests. So I think looking forwards, when you look at the role of technology, I think the technology ought to help the farmer handle the pest problem. And that's how pesticides come in, because we have to store our yields, we have to protect our crops. We have, even when it comes to what I would say how do you call it? The storage aspect actually has to be in terms of sustainability. Yeah.
One final question. We talked a lot about food security, food prices. Africa last year was very much hit by the food riots and so on. How do you think, with the financial crisis now coupled with still looming food crisis, how can that develop in the future, and what could be done to try and avoid that situation?
I would say for Africa it's quite tough because, first of all, we are underutilizing our land. And I think what the financial crisis might teach us is perhaps to look for a strategy whereby we can have some of this excess money that goes to other, what I may call development sectors, being channeled back to the farming sector. And I think the farming sector could prove to be more reliable because it will feed the African people. So I think what had happened with the excitement of especially free markets where people are investing in other non-agricultural sectors, I think here we are looking at a situation where there's going to be the rethinking of that approach, and then we might go back to agriculture. And I think going forwards, that is good news for the farmer.